When you get tightness in your hips or glutes area, you might notice that trying to stretch it or massage it out either doesn't quite hit the spot in your upper glutes that you're looking for, or it does hit the spot, but only temporarily, because then it comes back with a vengeance in your lower back and makes your hamstrings tighter too, which makes you want to stretch those out. But if you're stuck in that cycle, then let me show you a stretch that isolates it real quick, and then an exercise that's going to strengthen it so that it doesn't come back in the long term. To start this stretch, we're going to get into a position where we can get our hips more in line with our knees. If anything, having our hips ever so slightly above our knees, but not below like this chair seems to offer and like many office chairs seem to. If your hips are more parallel with your knees, you know that you found the right spot. But if you find that when sitting up straight, that you have a little bit of tension in your hip flexors in order to maintain that upright posture, I'm gonna go ahead and move you to the middle of that seat before we begin the exercise. Once you're here and you've got your hips slightly higher or in line with where your knees are, I'm gonna go ahead and have you take that first leg and bring it over your knee. I'm gonna have you take your torso and your abdominals and shift to point in the direction of where your foot is pointing. If I've got my right leg over my left knee, my toes are going to be pointing slightly off at about a 45-degree angle toward the left. So starting with my abdominals, I'm going to take my body and shift it toward the left, making sure to maintain that upright posture. Once you're here, get into a position where you can bend over, starting from the base, not from the top, which will lead to that lower back pain. If you notice I'm holding myself like this, it's to maintain that posture and making sure that my body is staying flat as I bend over in the direction that my toes are pointing. If you're rotating from your abs and keeping your hips square to where you started, then you're gonna notice right as you're dipping over, that stretch is gonna come right into the hips, those upper glutes, and that piriformis muscle. Take about 10 to 15 breaths here. But if you notice that over time, that original deep stretch is starting to go away or creep right up into your quads, then go ahead and slowly move your heel forward onto your knee, and you'll notice you're right back in business. Flexing your foot on top of your knee and using the foot on the floor to slowly raise your heel are two ways that you can deepen or regain this stretch. Now, in order to maintain the relief that we found with that hip stretch exercise, we're gonna go ahead and strengthen the muscles in that same area that are actually being overcompensated for as we sit for long periods of the day. So when we stretch it, we're gonna go ahead and find that relief. But when we strengthen it, we're gonna leave those muscles less prone to overcompensating and therefore less prone to feeling that same strain and tightness in the future. The difference with this hip adduction exercise is you're not coming right out to the side as much as you are focusing the epicenter of this exercise right where that upper glute fascia area is, right near the iliac crest. So as we do this, I'm gonna line up here and I'm actually gonna bring my leg back at about a 45-degree angle. Inhale before beginning this exercise and use that exhale to lift that back heel up to the point where you can feel that engagement in your upper glutes. And go ahead and raise that to about the level of your comfort that you can while still maintaining that upright posture, using the chair for stabilization. But really, you should feel that engagement in that upper glute area as opposed to just the side of your hips. Do about 10 to 15 of these on both sides and incorporate them into your exercise routines in order to start feeling that hip relief, even if you have to sit down for a big portion of the day. But make sure that if you do, utilize these babies. Go and check out my last video on desk posture, and you're gonna start to feel a whole lot better, even if you have to spend a whole lot of your day sitting down. I'm Coach Ray. Thank you so much for watching, and be sure to check out our website below and subscribe for more videos just like this.